When it comes to extreme sports legends, Aussie Logan Martin is setting the bar and then clearing it.
724 for the no-hitter.
As the breakout star of the Tokyo Olympics, the young gun from Queensland pedalled his BMX to the top of the podium, stealing gold and leaving the competition in his wake. On top of the gold, he's an X Games legend and BMX world champion. But his ride to glory hasn't always been smooth.
What you want to do?
In his new book, Journey to Gold, Logan tells all, in a story about the tricks, artistry and dedication it took to win the world's attention.
Would you please welcome Logan Martin? Great to meet you in person. Obviously, all of that vision is incredible. I'm interested whether your earliest memories on a bike are quite that extreme.
No, definitely not. Obviously, I always had a bike growing up when I was a kid. Never really ventured to the skate park till I was about 12, but they were definitely not that extreme when I first got my bike.
BMX Mongoose, Stingray, what was it?
My first bike was a 16-inch, a green one. It was an ABD. It's probably not a popular brand these days.
No, I didn't have that one.
But it was a 16-inch bike when I first started going to the skate park.
Cool.
When did you go from it being something you were just really good at to, I can make a career out of this?
I was about 16, 17 when I started to realise, I started doing tricks that the pros at the time were doing, and I thought if I can continue doing these tricks and then start performing them at competitions, then I can step up, to the pro level. And when I was about 19, I made it onto the pro scene and started competing.
And what about for your family? Often, when there's a kid in the family that's amazing at sport, the family has to give up a lot to support that dream. Was that the case for your family as well?
It wasn't really. My parents, they always supported me going to the skate park, getting new bike parts and things like that. But it wasn't, freestyle BMX is just so chilled out and...
So chilled out?
But there wasn't much structure to it, It was just go down the skate park, have fun, and,
Doesn't look very chilled to me. It looks terrifying.
You're right.
I think golf's chilled out, BMX.
You're right at Tokyo in the Olympics was extraordinary. It was one of the biggest moments, from watching it here in Australia over the whole campaign. When did you, were you feeling the pressure in the moment? Like when you're in that moment, are you nervous or are you just completely zoned in?
I was completely zoned in, and I touch in my book. I touch on a thing that my wife said to me was just go to the Olympics and don't treat it any differently. I've been competing quite for quite a while, eight years at that point. And she said, don't treat it any differently to a different event. I've had plenty of different high-pressure events. Don't treat it any different. Just go there, focus on what you do best. And that was in my mind the whole time, was just focus on competing. And that was all I treated it as.
Just get that bunny hop done,
From all of us, it's amazing to have a gold medalist on the desk, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That
thank you.
made us all feel really good during, pretty bad times we've had the last couple of years. So I just want to drag it down a bit. What's the worst crash you've ever had?
I've definitely had a fair few.
There's a picture in your book with your mouth sort of split open.
Yeah, that's happened a few times. I've been knocked out lots of times. I had a scary one in 2017, which I don't remember, much of the day. Just a really it was on a Nitro World Games triple hit ramp, which I'm competing at in a couple of weeks. But it was on that ramp, and I just obviously messed up, got knocked out, and I was thrown up the next day. I had to travel back, the next day on the plane, all, concussed still. And that was a really bad one, just because head injuries are, a very serious thing and can be an ongoing thing. So that was a really scary one, but I've broken plenty of bones, torn ligaments and ankles.
But don't forget, kids, super chilled sport.
The book reveals quite literally a whole other side to you, and that's with one particular image which displays all of your tats. But you also say you've left room for the Olympic rings. Dare I ask where?
The Olympic rings are on the back of my gown.
There we go.
Oh my God! Wow.
That is.
There's no. I mean, there's
no
the
space.
space on the front.
I got I got the Olympic rings on the back of my neck.
Because Carrie,
Oh, you did?
you're a big fan of the ink.
I look very similar to that. I got
You got
two
on the
little
weekend.
love hearts on the weekend on my wrists. So.
Go with the shot of Carrie.
Yep.
There we go.
Badass,
Very
guys,
similar.
badass.
Very similar.
Lucky. You've almost got as much as I do.
There's an AFL player, Dustin Martin, who has a lot of tattoos like that, and he's not got any on his face or neck either. Neither of you. Is that?
Yeah.
Mum said no.
Yeah, Mum definitely said no, but that was the thing for me. I just didn't want to get my neck or my hands tattooed, just because I can cover up if I need to, but then I can also look the way I want.
That's great.
Amazing.
Well, your book Journey to Gold is available for pre-order now and out everywhere on October the 18th. It's been so much fun having you here, Logan. Thanks so much for stopping by. Congrats
Thanks so
again.
much for having me. Thank you.